Hello and welcome back to the overall out of 10 on the rest of the way. And yeah, big show today. Following the events of last week's shows, Jey Uso and Drew McIntyre met in a singles match, assessed for their differences. The rest of the advertising card was kind of featured lots of rematch, but disappointingly, Cody v Dom, New Day, Viking Raiders, Ricochet, Shinsuke, kind of along those lines as we continue to build towards the Fastlane pay-per-view. But we start things off with one of those matches, Dom versus Cody. Cody and Dom kicked the show with a verbal exchange before. Mysterio claimed Nia Jax helped Rhea Ripley last week to explain her absence, so he didn't have to crutch to lean on when Rose started saying things to get inside his head. Finn Balor and Damian Priest showed up to lend support for Dom right before the show went to break. When it returned, the American Nightmare immediately took control and schooled his younger opponent. Balor yanking Rhodes off the apron to give Mysterio an upper hand, but Cody Cutter quickly turned things around again. Cody finished him off with just a few crossroads. It's to score the win. It wasn't a squash, but it didn't get a decisive pin as you're going to get. It was clean, but it did after overcoming Balor interference. So yeah, kind of a good sign for Cody there. But yeah, I mean, would have liked to see maybe Dom get a bit more here. But you know, for all it was fine, I suppose. I'll give it a 7 out of 10. Before it's time for Kofi versus Ivar, KO was asking Cody before if he thought it was a good idea to bring Jey Uso to Raw after everything he had done. Rhodes said he deserves a second chance to prove he has changed. KO said that he trusts Rhodes and Zayn, and he hopes that they aren't wrong. That's all that happened. Before we were supposed to get a tag match between the Viking Raiders and New Day, but when it turned into a single match between Kofi and Ivar, as it revealed Eric was injured, get well soon. The match was all about Kingston trying to find ways to combat the power and shocking agility of Ivar. He might be the bigger member of his team, but Ivar is also the quicker of the Vikings. What could be a throwaway match in this feud will continue this past week into a David Goliath battle between the two rivals. They did a lot to make themselves great and each other. Kingston picked up a big victory, Trouble in Paradise to cap off a great performance. So yeah, get 6 out of 10. Singles compared to the normal tag match between these two, I think it worked really well. Fun match, and Jack gets 6 out of 10. Next up was Shinsuke Nakamura versus Ricochet. Rollins tried to protect Nakamura for a scheduled match with Ricochet, but Adam Pearce and the security team prevented the champion from getting to him. Ricochet made his entrance after a break and allowed the officials to come clear Rollins from the arena so the match could take place. Even though the King of Strong Style has been the one with the changing attitude recently, Ricochet showed some controlled aggression when he was in control. These two have known for each other in the ring for years, and it kind of showed here with the chemistry they had, developing a really fluid match. The High Flyer stopped Nakamura from using a steel chair, but he ended up getting himself DQ'd when he used the chair instead. He argued with the ref until Nakamura took out his leg and hit him with the Kinshasa. It almost felt like it was part of the plan for Nakamura to attack him. Rollins tried to attack him again. Nakamura went after his injury back to take him down, getting away by disqualification. Kind of a clever tactic for a heel. Because we've seen it so many times, I didn't really mind it. So yeah, worked nicely, 7 out of 10. Before it's time for Piper Niven and Chelsea Green versus Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark. The women's tag champs were in a non-title match this week. And yeah, Stark immediately took control and began taking Green apart with a series of moves. Baszler wanted to show what they could do, and she tagged in and kicked Dickie in punishment. It turned out to be a game between Stark and Baszler to see who could outdo the other. Niven helped Green take advantage of the opening to gain the upper hand. Nia Jax ended up attacking Niven and Stark to cause the match to end in a no contest. The former women's champions dismantled everyone. Once again, the women's tag team division made suffer, so single stars can look good. It's kind of a pattern we see, and yeah, it was disappointing. I didn't mind the match, but yeah, that was disappointing. 6 out of 10. Before it's time for Chad Gable versus Bronson Reed. Chad Gable and Bronson Reed had a backstage confrontation that led to Postman Pearce picking him in the match. Gable tried to avoid him early on, but once Reed got his hands on the former Olympian, he sent him flying across the ring. We haven't seen Master Gable taking on a lot of being over the big guys over the years, but Reed is a different animal. This might not be their first time in the ring together, but it might have been their best. Gable has become one of the most beloved underdogs in the company, but that didn't stop Reed pinning him with a tsunami. Considering Gable's trying to get one more shot at the IC title, it didn't make much sense to make him lose, but I think the match is still fun. Bronson Reed, big for him to go over as well, so I'm not going to lose too much sleep about the decision, I have to say. So yeah, I'll give it 6 out of 10. Before it's time for Becky Lynch defending the NXT Women's title against Natalya, of course becoming a Grand Slam champion last week, and she wasted no time getting her first title defence in the books. This week the man put the tail on the line against Natalya. She came down and got into an argument with Lynch, leading to them having a match. As soon as the bell rang, Natty threw the champion to the ring post. This is one of the combinations that's always going to produce a good match, but we have seen it so many times, it kind of, in a way, feels like filler. And WWE, kind of what they do with Lynch's title reign is going to be a question. Natty's a great wrestler, but she's always a stepping stone for everyone. The man pinning her with a roll-up, surprised it was just a roll-up, to end a decent but predictable encounter. And yeah, I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. Before it's time for Vinci versus Ciampa. Ciampa gave a backstage promo declaring his intention to win the belt, but he had to go through Vinci first. Both of these guys spent a long time in NXT, but surprisingly have only been in the ring a few times together. whatever. So this kind of felt like a fresh match in a way. Gunther couldn't be bothered to come to the ring, so he was watching from backstage. After roughly 5 minutes of technical wrestling, Ciampa scored the submission victory. And yeah, I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10. The match wasn't bad or anything like that. I don't know, it's just once again that we kind of seen this stuff before. And yeah, going through the two lackeys before they can get to Gunther, we kind of know how it goes. Would be better if we could come up with maybe something a bit better, to be brutally honest. But yeah, it was then time for our main event, and that was between Drew McIntyre and main event Jey Uso. But before he faced McIntyre in the main event, Uso was once again approached by Priest backstage. They discussed the idea of Jey joining the Bloodline, but Priest used the idea of recruiting Jimmy to get inside Jey's head. The Scottish Warrior was looking to take out all of the frustrations he had with the Bloodline for the past 3 years, but Jey is on Raw to distance himself from all of that, so he wasn't looking to jump into the fight. They locked up a few times so McIntyre could demonstrate his power, so Jey used his speed to avoid him for as long as possible. Even though Jey was playing the underdog in the situation, he was still putting up a good fight. The Judgment Day came to the ringside area to support Jey, even though you can never asked them to be there. When everyone in the Judgment Day got on the apron to talk to Uso, he nailed them with C kicks before McIntyre nailed him with a Claymore for the W. This match was pretty how we expected it to go. It's not a bad thing, but it certainly won't stand out either. McIntyre was having trouble deciding whether to help Uso fend off the Judgment Day when Rhodes went down to Uso's clear the ring. The show ends up with main event Jey and the American Nightmare standing tall. I think that's a good ending. 7 out of 10. Babyface going till. Still questions over Drew McIntyre as well, which I think is an intriguing storyline as well. So yeah, for me, it worked nicely and gets a 7 out of 10. Overall, Raw this week gets a 7 out of 10 from me. I thought it was a pretty solid episode of Raw, I have to say. Lots going on. An enjoyable episode. I really enjoyed the main event. I think some of the storylines kind of leading up to were intriguing as well. So yeah, lots going on. And like I say, good stuff. 7 out of 10 from me. And I think, yeah, in the build up to Fastlane, things are going to start really building up and regressing. But anyway, guys, that's the video. Thanks so much for watching. Like, share, subscribe, and what's going on with daily wrestling news and subscribe to the channel. It's going to be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace out.